Hi everyone, this is another episode with the Chico Hospital for Cats podcast. My name is Samet and I'm here today with Dr. Colleran. Hi Dr. Colleran.
Hi.
So today we just had an idea to talk about older cats and skinny cats, and basically cats that are a little bit more into the second part of their life after the kitten and the young adult stage. So for you, Dr. Colleran, where does it start when we say a senior cat or old cat, first of all?
Well, I always hesitate to call anybody old, especially given my age. But a cat over 9 years old, about 90% of them have some form of arthritis. And after 11, their metabolism changes so that they don't digest and absorb nutrients as efficiently as they used to. So there are some milestones around that 9 to 11 period.
And so if I'm a cat owner and I'm not really knowledgeable about, medical part of things, and my cat is starting to get to 7, 8, 9 years old, what are good tips for me to know maybe there is a beginning or sign of arthritis or stuff?
There are some things that are really helpful that people can use online that are completely independent of us. For example, there's a website called painfreecats.org, and on there's a questionnaire about how your cat moves, how your cat behavior has changed, and it's all written in language that's intended for cat owners, not for doctors. So that's one tool to use to sort of evaluate how your cat's doing in the house.
So we can watch for like less activity, having trouble jumping on a bed that they used to easily do and now they're hesitating, or...
Exactly. And then things like bunny hopping, which is going up the stairs and pulling two legs at the same time, sort of like jumping up.
Okay.
If they are hesitant coming down off of counters, such that maybe they slide partway down the counter a little bit before they jump down.
First down.
Yeah, they kind of slide down the front of the cupboard. That's really a sign of some discomfort. So filling out that questionnaire, first of all, gives us information that we wouldn't have otherwise, because you know how cats are when they come here, they just freeze practically. And so if you can just watch them in the house, you can see a tremendous amount of information that we don't have unless we get it from you.
Yeah, it's almost like there's a shield when they come here to, see what's happening.
Yeah, and this questionnaire is sort of like having an invisible veterinarian go to your house, so you could actually see how the cat's acting in its normal environment and not so fearful.
So let's say they did this and they see that in the house this cat is, as far as activity and jumping skills and the places it used to climb, it's declining. So what's the next step? Is it...
Well, the next step really is to take that information to your veterinarian, because they can put together a plan that'll help you do a lot of things. First of all, relieve some of the discomfort. Second of all, maybe suggest some modifications to the house. For example, some people that have both dogs and cats will feed the cats up on top of a clothes washer or something to keep the dog out of the food. So maybe that cat's not comfortable getting up there anymore. So come up with different strategies, different feeding strategies. We have clients who have built little ramps for their cats to get up on the bed if they, have become hesitant about that. I mean, there are a lot of ways to modify the environment, and then there are other things that are just easy things to do, like a heated bed. There's nothing nicer for arthritic joints than a heated bed. So there are plenty of things that can be done to make them more comfortable.
Yeah, it's basically though like maintaining the quality of life and trying to reduce the effects of arthritis, right? It's not like it's going away. Is that true?
No, it's not going away. In fact, it gets worse over time. And so it's one of the things that we use the Pain-Free Cats questionnaire for, because as things begin to change, we can make modifications to the plan. So maybe this time we'll think of maybe using a some sort of pharmaceutical to add into the mix, or maybe a supplement or something like that. So over time, we'll change the plan as the arthritis changes the behavior.
Okay, cool. So what else do they typically experience as they get into the senior stage of life?
Well, one of the things I worry about the most is that they aren't able to metabolize energy and nutrients the same as efficiently as they did when they were younger. So we have to think differently about how we feed them. Maybe adding in more protein, for example. There are other things that can be affected by that, including the cat's ability to maintain muscle condition. And there's nothing more important than that. The faster you lose muscle condition, and this is true in humans too, the faster you die. So if we can keep that muscle condition score really nice and high, then that cat's going to have a much more comfortable, longer quality of life.
Okay. So actually, this is not a topic of episode, but that makes me think, when people like to do raw meat food diets and then grain-free diets and all that stuff, it's more like about balancing the protein intake and keeping the body score as good as you can, rather than trying different like edge options,
the edgy
right?
stuff. Right. The cats are unique in the sense that they are a hypercarnivore. That means they absolutely need meat protein in order to make the things that they need for energy. They can't use carbohydrates like we do and have the same effect. So we have to keep that muscle on, and if cats don't get enough protein or don't absorb enough protein, they'll start using up the protein in their muscle, and that's how they end up getting skinny. So yeah, we need to pay attention to the amount of protein they get, the quality of the protein they get, and then some other important nutrients that they don't make because of their carnivorous state.
And that's why we see so many older cats or senior cats, I should say, that have all these bony, skinny, horrible condition.
Well, my goal is to intervene before that.
Yeah.
To keep them a little bit on the chubby side forever. There's some new research out that shows that cats with a body condition score of 5 or 6 do a lot better into old age than cats that go into it skinny.
Oh, okay. And
cats who lose weight after 11 years old have a tendency to develop more diseases. So if we can keep that muscle up and keep them on a high protein diet, they're going to have a much better life.
So basically, we said number one is arthritis that might be seen starting when they start getting to that stage, and then nutrition comes into play when it's important part of it when they start aging too.
Yeah, and remember, a 20-year-old cat is over 100 people years old.
Yeah.
They age much faster than we do. So if you're supposed to go to the doctor once a year at your nice young age, these cats should be coming in at least twice a year to get evaluated, not for identifying diseases, but so we can prevent bad things from happening.
Yeah. And also with like a 20-year-old cat, sometimes their water intake is not exactly appropriate either. I mean, appropriate amount either. So you have to like maybe add a little bit water to the canned food to make it a little bit more.
Yeah, they're desert animals, so they don't have the same brainstem impetus to drink water that other animals do, because they used to get most of their moisture from killing and eating animals that are 80% water, just like you and I are.
Yeah.
So they just don't have that desire to drink that we'd like them to have.
Yeah, not the same instincts.
Exactly.
Thirst. Okay. Would you like to add anything else to this little senior cat episode?
I think that's a good start. The other things that we see a lot more of in older cats are problems of gastrointestinal symptoms and dental disease. That's a big one. And then there is such a thing in cats as cognitive decline. So there's always ways to make life better for older cats.
Always look for a better improvement.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much. This was a nice, short, informative episode for
Thanks,
senior
Samit.
cats. Yeah, and we'll see everybody next time. Thank you.
you.